Beginning, the Princess and the Warlord. Princess Lysera of the Xeran Dominion had never wanted power. Her silver-veined skin shimmered under the palace lights, her eyes glowing faintly like twin stars. As the only daughter of Emperor Vader, her destiny was written long before she had drawn her first breath. She was to marry Warlord Caeldran, the fiercest general in the Dominion, a man whose reputation alone kept entire star systems in line. The marriage was not about love. It was about consolidation, a political alliance to strengthen the Empire's control over the outer sectors. Lysera had trained her whole life for combat, diplomacy, and survival, yet nothing had prepared her for Caeldran. Brutal, charismatic, dangerous, and utterly inflexible. She hated the thought of him. And yet, as all Xeran princesses were taught, her obedience was absolute. But then the humans arrived. Earth, a planet the Dominion considered primitive, had sent emissaries to negotiate trade treaties. And the humans' ingenuity had caught the Empire off guard. Particularly one human, Captain Adrian Cross. He was small by Xeran standards, his frame lean, but his mind was sharp, his courage unparalleled. During a skirmish on the Dominion's mining outpost near Saturn, Adrian had devised a countermeasure that disabled Caeldran's forces for hours, saving countless human and civilian lives. Lysera had been present, observing the humans' tactical genius firsthand. And when Caeldran demanded she lead the assault against them, she hesitated just once. That hesitation would change everything. Middle the escape. Caeldran arrived at Lysera's quarters in the Imperial Palace, his presence filling the room like a tidal wave. "You know your duty," he said, voice deep and resonant. "You marry me. You lead our forces. The humans are irrelevant." I can't," Lysera whispered. Caeldran laughed, a chilling sound. "You will, or you will regret it." Lysera's heart pounded. She had trained for war, for politics, for survival, but not for this. Not for the suffocating grip of destiny. That night, while the palace slept, she made a choice. She slipped out of the royal chambers, silent as a shadow, and accessed the Empire's secure communications. A single message went out. To the human who saved lives near Saturn, meet me at the Lagrange station. I need your help. Hours later, in the cold void of orbit, Adrian Cross arrived in his small scout vessel. Lysera awaited him, cloaked in the shimmer of Xeran's stealth technology. "You're alive," Adrian said cautiously, eyes scanning her carefully. "I never wanted to marry Caeldran," she admitted. "He will destroy anyone who defies him. I need your help to escape and to survive." Adrian nodded. Humans were unpredictable, even to Xeran observers. But unpredictability could be a weapon. Together, they plotted a course through Dominion patrols, asteroid fields, and deep space turbulence. Lysera provided insider knowledge. Adrian improvised on the fly. For the first time in her life, Lysera felt alive. Free. The human advantage. Caeldran discovered her escape within hours. He sent ships, elite troops, and assassins. But Adrian's unconventional tactics always stayed one step ahead. Using asteroid belts as cover, they lured Dominion fighters into gravitational traps, disabling shields with jamming arrays derived from captured tech, employing decoy signals to confuse pursuit ships. Lysera watched, fascinated, as this human, so fragile by Xeran standards, consistently outmaneuvered the most powerful forces in her empire. "You think he's lucky," Lysera said softly to herself. "He's not," Adrian replied, overhearing her. "He's human." Lysera laughed softly. "That's terrifying." And in that shared moment of levity, she realized something profound. It wasn't just strategy or luck. Humans fought differently. Not for honor or glory or obedience, but for each other, for survival, for love. Rising tension, the warlord strikes. Kaldran's fury knew no bounds. He cornered them on a desolate moon, deploying the entirety of his personal guard. "You will return with me, princess," he thundered, "or die in this pitiful attempt at rebellion." Lysera drew her energy blade, her veins glowing brighter than ever. Adrian stood beside her, rifle in hand, scanning the field. "You're not in command here," Adrian said gently. "Maybe not," she replied, eyes narrowing. "But I know how he thinks." The battle began. Ziran warriors lunged, powerful and precise, but Adrian's tactics turned their strength against them. He anticipated their formation, exploited predictable patterns, and used the environment as an equalizer. Lysera struck with precision, disabling key targets while protecting Adrian from overwhelming blows. In the chaos, Kaldran confronted them directly. He towered over Adrian, energy blade drawn, aura flaring with lethal intensity. "You cannot win," Kaldran growled. Adrian stood firm, eyes meeting Lysera's. She nodded subtly. In a blur, Lysera struck Kaldran's flank with a plasma edge, just enough to stagger him. Not kill. She refused to harm him fatally. The human seized the moment, triggering a containment net that immobilized the warlord temporarily. Lysera's heart raced. She had saved her people, defied her empire, and now chosen a human, a being Kaldran would never have imagined she could value over loyalty. The turning point, choosing love. After the battle, Lysera and Adrian retreated to a hidden base on Earth's moon, safe from Dominion patrols. "You didn't have to choose me," Adrian said quietly, tending to her minor wounds. "I did," Lysera replied. "Because you see the person I am, not just the title I carry. And I see something in you humans I've never seen before: courage, empathy, love." Adrian shook his head. "Your royalty. Your empire will never forgive this." "Then we'll change it," Lysera said. "Together." For the first time, she allowed herself to imagine a life not dictated by law or duty. A life with him. A choice, not a command. The final battle, empire divided. Kaldran was not defeated permanently. He rallied loyalist forces for a final assault on Earth. But Lysera, now fully aligned with Adrian, had prepared. Using Earth's hidden technologies, human ingenuity, and her insider knowledge of Dominion tactics, they staged an ambush at the Lagrange station. The battle was epic. Alien warships collided with improvised human fighter squadrons. Energy blasts lit up the void in a kaleidoscope of purple and gold. Lysera confronted Kaldran in the station's central command room, while Adrian coordinated orbital defenses. "You were trained to obey," Kaldran hissed. "You betrayed your people for a weak human." Lysera's eyes blazed. "Not weak. Human. Strong in ways you will never understand." With a coordinated strike from both human and loyalist Ziran forces, Kaldran's fleet was forced into retreat. His generals, seeing the princess' conviction and the humans' brilliance, defected in droves. At last, Kaldran yielded, ending a new alliance. The dust settled. Lysera stood on Earth's surface, Adrian beside her. The humans and Ziran who had fought for her cause mingled in cautious celebration. The Dominion would not be conquered overnight, but the old order had fractured. With Lysera advocating for alliance rather than domination, a new era began. She looked at Adrian. "You could have walked away," she said. "I couldn't," he replied. "You showed me a world worth fighting for, and worth living in." She smiled, eyes glowing softly. "Then stay. Not as my bodyguard, not as my soldier, but as my equal." He took her hand. "As your partner." Above them, The stars stretched endlessly, no longer symbols of conquest, but of possibility. Lysera, the princess who had been promised to a warlord, had chosen differently. Not for duty, not for politics, but for love. And in doing so, she had changed the fate of two species. Together, human and alien, they would forge a future where strength was measured not by conquest, but by courage, loyalty, and the choice to fight for what you love.